Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this webinar interview. I'm Francis Seeley from Enfield Voices, and we often do these interviews where we interview people who are making a difference in our different communities within what is a very diverse Enfield. And today, or this evening, we've got Mehera Begun, and she runs, I hope I pronounced her name right.
Tell me you did.
Okay. She runs a youth club in the Palmers Green Mosque called the Green Stars, and we'll come to that. And I thought that was really interesting because a lot of us, including me, spent our misspent youth in youth clubs. I went to a Methodist Association youth club, and I thought it would be really interesting to look at what they're doing in the Palmers Green Mosque, which is an incredible mosque. It's a community centre and it's an education centre as well as being a mosque, and it's incredibly welcoming. Anyhow, thank you for joining us, Mehera, and that's great that you're here with us.
Yeah,
hiya. Anyhow, tell us a bit about Green Stars, because the youth club is called Green Stars. What does that mean?
I think it's a play on Palmers Green, and I didn't think of the name, so it was actually set up in 2012 by two of our volunteers, and they had a background in youth work and media. So they were Hamida and Rekha, which I should give a shout out to them. And so they set up a girls' youth club, and it was very popular. And within a year, there was a demand from the parents to set up a boys' club. So more volunteers were recruited, and the name Green Stars was chosen and a logo was designed. And this was back in 2012. Fast forward today, Green Stars is now not only the youth club, but we do a number of services. So we have the youth club, which is every Monday for children age 8 to 14, girls and boys. And we also have a monthly youth night, which is for our older children. So that's 14 plus. And we have it for girls and boys, but separate nights. And then we also have a football club on a Saturday for older boys and younger boys. And we also have a bike club. We also have a young leaders program, which is our past members who have become volunteers. And so they were actually members of the youth club. So they were the young members that started at 2012, and they outgrew the service, but now they come back and volunteer for us, and they actually run services, they run the sessions.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of those things in a minute. How did you yourself get involved?
So basically, my son already attended the youth club, the junior youth club, and so I knew about it, but I didn't actually know this vacancy was available there. And then I checked the mosque website just to find out what time the prayers were, and then I saw the job advertised in the corner, and it really just spoke to me because for the last 10 years I've always worked with young people and the community, but never actually worked in my local community. I've always worked in Hackney and Tower Hamlets, and so when I saw the position and read it, I was like, I want this, basically. And then I applied for it,
and you got it. And so it's a paid position, and you're the leader, are you?
Yeah, okay. It's the only paid position. Yeah.
Yeah, and you obviously have a family because your children here, and I gather your son might look in on the webinar in a minute. So you must have a pretty busy life.
Yes, I do. I have 3 young children from 11, 9, and my youngest is a 3-year-old. Who keeps me busy.
Yeah, so it's a youth club in Palmers Green in the mosque. And what's the age range? I mean, at what age can they start in the youth club, and what age do they have to finish?
So the age group for the youth club is they start from 8, but we do have a few 7-year-olds, and it goes all the way up to 21. So like our youth nights are for the older children, and they are from 14-year-olds to 21-year-olds that come and attend the sessions. And as I said, you never actually outgrow Green Stars. We've got people that used to be members and now are volunteering for us. So it's a long, you can be part of Green Stars as long as you want, really.
Yeah, sometimes I still feel I'm a part of the Methodist Association of Youth Clubs, and that was
that's what we want. It's the sustainability behind that our members become, young leaders, and then from young leaders they become volunteers. So yeah.
And the young people who come, do they come from right across the borough or just in Palmers Green?
Oh no, right across the borough. We've got people who even come from Ilford area because they don't have these opportunities available there. I mean, obviously everyone knows what's happening with the government, more cuts and youth clubs. So these facilities are much needed, and I think people go that extra mile to get their young people to be part of these groups and clubs.
And I read in what I think the sort of application you put in originally that you have you service some of the more deprived areas in the borough. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean it is really open to anyone and everyone. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, different financial situations, different ethnicities.
And do you have to be a Muslim to go to the youth club? Or
no. We've actually had a few non-Muslims come and attend the club. They've come with friends. They want to check it out. So, you know, there's no discrimination. You can be a Muslim or non-Muslim. Obviously, majority of our members are Muslim, but it is welcome to everyone.
Yeah, I mean that's a great thing about Palmers Green Mosque. It's an open community, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it welcomes everyone, which is great. So you told us about some of the activities that you do there. Are they age based, or does everyone join in together?
They are age based. So our Monday sessions are for 8 to 14-year-olds, and there's a girls' club and a boys' club, and they run at the same time. So we do different activities for them. I mean, there's a lot of sports, lots of arts and crafts, but every term we make sure that we do something that really teaches them a life skill. So, for example, last term we did an apprentice style workshop where the members were put into little groups and they had to design a Muslim board game. And then over 2 weeks, they had to design it and then present their idea to a panel of judges. And it was great because you got to see the children use their creative side, their team building, think of ideas. In a very short amount of time, they had to produce some of the ideas were excellent. And then they had to present the ideas to a panel of judges. So it was using lots of different life skills that they would have to use, you know, in the future, in any jobs or, you know, education. And the term before that, we did, which I was really proud of, we did a winter kit. Palmers Green Mosque feeds the homeless every week. So our members created winter packs, and it was, you know, with things like a blanket, hat, scarf, hygiene kits, and they had a handwritten card in it, just a nice positive motivational card for, you know, those who are in need. And it was just trying to demonstrate to them with not just giving charity by money, but actually having a more active role in charity. And then some of the members actually went out and distributed those homeless packs. So we're really proud to make sure that we get the kids to do, you know, they do the fun stuff, but we make sure that they learn all the other, you know, skills that are needed.
I mean that sounds great. I mean, I remember from my days it was all table tennis, postman's knock, and listening to Cliff Richard, which is scarred me for the rest of my life. But you do things that help them develop skills that are good for their employability. I mean, that's really encouraging to hear. I mean, how do you get people in to help with that? Because you can't do everything.
We are so blessed that we have a great team of volunteers, and these are volunteers who either had their child that goes to the club or are just strong part of the mosque, and they just, I can't even rate them. You know, as I said, some of them are past members, and others are people just from the community who want to give that time to the young people and to their own community, and they dedicate hours every week just to come in and help us. I mean, we have a rota set up, and we know who's coming in each week. And, you know, they've got full-time careers, busy families, but they still make that time to volunteer for us. But we're always looking for volunteers. So
how do you find your volunteers? Mainly through the mosque or elsewhere?
Yeah, through the mosque. And we advertise it through social media. And as I said, it's past members or it's members' parents who really like what we're doing and want to get involved. And that's where I've been lucky when I came in. I only came in 2.5 years ago, so there was a core team of volunteers already established.
Oh, so the youth club actually was there before you joined it? It
it was set up in 2012. And
when
that was volunteer led. I came 2.5 years ago.
Ah, so you're 2.5 years in, which is quite a long time. You said you do lots of arts and craft, and I saw that in your promotion. Is that where you
Yeah.
depend on volunteers? Do you get people in who are good at painting and sculpture and drawing and whatever arts and crafts you want to follow?
Yeah, I mean, we work really on the skills that are offered by our volunteers, and we work. Some of our mums are really talented, so they come in and do run some workshops for the young people. Like we've had jewelry making. So it's really like highlighting the skills in our own community. For the Apprentice Workshop, we had one of the judges was a father, and he does product design. So he wanted, so it was great for him to be one of the judges, so he could look at the designs in a different perspective. So it's really just harnessing the skills that are in our community. And we want to continue that. We want to be a platform, not just for our young people, but for local talent really to come in and give them that opportunity to show what they've got and teach our young people.
So if you teach them skills that they will find useful later in life in jobs and so on, and you have an apprenticeship scheme, do you link with local employers as well? I mean, are they helpful?
We haven't so far, no, but that is actually a good direction we could go for. I mean, I'm part-time at the end of the day, so we have over, I mean, for the youth club itself, we have about over 40 kids that come every week to the club. So we are oversubscribed, to be honest. And funding is always an issue.
So how do you get your funding? Do you get it from Enfield Council, or where do you get it?
This funding is literally self-funded. So the actual youth clubs are £2 a session for the children, and that's how we fund the session. That's how we fund it.
Well, that's
we
not
have
huge.
been successful. No, that's not huge. But we have been very successful recently and got the Aviva funding. And hopefully we're going to apply for more funding, because it is a much needed service. And as I said, we're oversubscribed. We are lucky that we do get lots of donations from parents with materials and just cash donations.
And if you had the money, I mean, what's the capacity in the mosque for a youth club if you had, the place full?
At the moment, during winter time it's difficult because we are indoors and we are restricted because it's in the evenings, because of, it gets dark really quickly. So we only have a massive hall, which is usually the boys take that, because we have about 30 boys that attend, and then we have the girls about 15, and we usually take one of the smaller rooms. So we have to check numbers, and that's the maximum we can have. In the summer we can take more because we've got the outdoor space.
Do the boys and girls mix together at any point?
They do. Like, for the example, the Apprentice, that was a joint session. For the winter kids, that was a joint session. So we do, and like our trips, we have end of term trips. So sometimes we've taken them to laser tag, jumping, the trampoline park. We've also taken them like some outside woodcraft, which was in the dark. So they're mixed during those times. That's only for the youth club. Our youth nights are separate, majority.
So the trips you do what, 3 times a year?
End of term. So how many terms are there? We do about 4 trips. 4 trips.
Shows you how out of date I am. It's 4 terms,
Yeah.
not 3 like in my day. Okay, I was quite interested in what you said about packs for the homeless people. So you try and reach out to the community as well. You don't just let kids have fun. You try you help the community. So what do you do?
So one of the things that we try to implement is that we are a Muslim-led youth club. So our youth club doesn't teach the children how to read the Quran. That's for Arabic school and the Saturday school that the Palmers Green run. But what we try to implement in our youth club is the practices that the Quran teaches us and that our Prophet used to practice. So respecting our brothers, our neighbours, if you're angry, what to do in a situation when you're angry, and following the teachings of the Quran and the characteristics our Prophet used to portray. And that's what we really want to do with our youth clubs is, charity work is a main part of Islam. So obviously we want to implement it into our youth clubs. Brotherhood is another, and sisterhood is all very important parts of our religion. So, we try to implement that always in the activities we do. So they go away with that idea of respecting your neighbour, respecting your classmate, respecting your mother and your father.
So what, I mean, give me some examples of what you might do with the community to follow those basic principles.
So, for example, I mean, we've done the homeless feed, so that was a big charitable act. We've done Syrian shoe boxes for Eid, so all the children designed. We brought some toys in, some snacks, and then all the children designed like boxes for Syria, and for Eid, so they can open on Eid, and they were sent off on the shoebox campaign that was led by another charity. We've done cake sales where we've sold cakes to raise money for Rohingya. So that's part of the charity kind of things that we've implemented in the youth club. We've also had Scouts group come in and come for an interfaith events, which we've encouraged our young people to take a lead in that. So, they be proud of their faith and respect other people's faith and be confident to talk about questions that people might have about our religion and answer it with confidence and answer it with, kindness.
I mean, someone's just come on. She wasn't quite clear about whether the boys and the girls are separated, but you were saying they do get together, don't they?
Yeah, the majority they're separated weekly, and then for certain activities they are mixed together.
Is there any reason why you separate them out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we do it because the girls are more comfortable and the boys are more comfortable being separate. And, for our youth nights, we always keep them separate. They're on different nights, but sometimes we have like guest speakers come in. So we might mix it up for that, but the boys and girls are separate. And that's just because it is a mosque and we do follow the, Islamic conditions for that.
Yeah, well,
we don't do like free mixing.
Yeah, well, I guess even in my day, there were boys' clubs and there were girls' clubs, and they had their separate clubs. But I mean, you separate them, but you do come together on certain events. So you have the best of every world in that sense, which is quite good to do. I noticed also in your publicity, you talked about it being a safe place where people can come and they can talk about their ideas and they can get advice. I mean, what do you mean by that? And do you give advice?
Yeah, I mean, for example, I think the thing that is needed with young people is that young people go through so many different challenges in their life. And these are just generally young people with their identity, with growing up, with hormones, etc. And young people that are, living in this country and trying to practice their religion, it can be difficult, especially with, all that's going on in the news. Sorry, my son's found me. Hi, Papa.
Mehera's son's going to join us in a minute, so it's just come in.
No, there's no. Yeah. Sorry, this is my younger son.
Yeah. Hi there.
No, there's no one. You go, Papa. Go to the other room. And so what we do is our youth club is we have like fun activities, but we also have for our youth clubs, for example, at the end of the sessions, they have the opportunity to sit down and talk about issues that they're. Sorry, my son threw me there. But issues, voice their feelings. Sometimes they can't do it at home. Sometimes they can't do it at school because they might be the minority. And our youth nights, which are for our older girls and boys, I run the youth girls. I don't participate in the youth boys. I mean, I know what happens, but I'll talk about the youth girls. That is such a it has such a positive impact on our girls. We recently did one this Friday and it was for International Women's Night. And so we talked about all the great Muslim women out there and we often forget about current positive Muslim women. And it was nice because it gave the girls the opportunity to discuss things outside of, social pressures of looking a certain way and, having the best selfie and the best contour. Here was an opportunity for girls to actually express like feelings they have that they can't share at home, whether or not it's tackling the wearing the hijab or parts of their deen that they feel they can't practice because of social pressures at school. So even if you just have that safe opportunity to talk about it and understand there's a group of girls and a group of women who have been there or going through the same thing, it lets the girls feel that slightly more empowered and that they can just talk about it. And it, just like Loose Women, what we have on the TV where they talk about certain subjects, it's the same thing. We have a safe environment where no one is judged by their view or how they're struggling in a certain part of their life. Instead, it's safely and we can discuss it. And most of us are usually feeling that as well.
And Mehera, also the other thing about safe space, if I come back to that, I mean, lots of
Yeah,
people are worried about the knife crime and youth violence that's going on in the streets, and they look at youth clubs as a way. I don't know if they're right about this. Youth clubs are a way of, you know, dealing with the problem by getting people a place where they can belong. Have
yeah.
you faced any problems around, you know, youth violence and having to deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many concerns from our members, and you know, youngest 14, and you know, the younger youth group that are 8 to 14. When the brother volunteers, when they sit there and talk to the young children, they're quite shocked about their concerns because they're all quite concerned about it because it's reaching all ages. And again, it's just having that conversation and talking about it, and getting that advice of what to do if you're in that situation. And often you can't have that conversation again with parents because your parents might over worry, or with teachers and that because you're with your peers. But at youth clubs, it's a different environment. You feel more comfortable talking about your concerns. You're comfortable expressing those worries you have, and that's a lot of communication is down to can be a solution for most problems. Because when you don't talk about stuff, it just harnesses inside you and it can come out in a negative way.
No, that's really important. It's great you do that. I tell you what, I'm going to ask your son those questions again because we didn't get him on picture. So do you want to
Oh,
put
okay,
him
yeah.
back on? Yeah. Hi there. We're going to get you again because we didn't hear you properly last time. So tell us again what you enjoy most in your youth club.
At the youth club, I personally mostly enjoy football because I just love playing football.
And what other things do you do?
At Green Stars, first, we have the fun activities at first, where we either do sports or creative activities. Then usually at the end we have a few snacks and just have talks.
Okay, and have you met lots of friends there?
Yeah, I've made so many friends over the time that I've been there.
So you enjoy your time and you look forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's good. So Mehera, let's just say something about the mosque itself. I mean, Palmers Green Mosque has got a really good reputation of
Yes,
being
it has.
open and welcoming. I mean, we've had meetings in the mosque and we've had people come to the meetings, not because they wanted to come to the meetings, because they wanted to see the mosque. They just
Oh,
came to
that's
the meeting.
nice.
It's an excuse. So, I mean, tell us a bit about the mosque and how open and welcoming it is.
I mean, we had the open day mosque on Sunday, and it was great to see so many people come. But the brilliant thing about Palmers Green is that it is an open day mosque every day. Like everyone is welcome, and there's for our members of staff there that are there, our volunteers. We're also eager to show off the mosque, and I mean everyone's really proud of it, and we're all ready to answer any questions that everyone has. I mean, we've done some, as I said, like every week they feed the homeless. So they go out into central London. Um, they did do Wednesday breakfast mornings where they were trying to get people from the community, Muslim and non-Muslim, to come in and have breakfast together. So they're always thinking of different ways to get the community involved, whether you're Muslim, whether you're not Muslim, whether you live close or you live far away. I think that's the beauty of Palmers Green, that it's always trying to reinvent itself to make sure that they are part of the community and the growing times.
And it has an education centre there as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. So they have like a Saturday school and they do lots of classes for adults. And it's just so much going on there. I'm so proud to be part of the organisation.
So how do you see your youth club developing in the future, or how would you like it to develop?
I would like to see it develop and that we get more funding, that we get them, more space. We have plans to expand the mosque, so it'd be great to have that more space. And really, what I think one of the things that I would like to see with Green Stars is that not just working with the young people, but I would like to work with more of the local businesses in the area and a local talent, and to be Green Stars to be that place where they can use it as a platform to, show off their skills, and we work together and there's an exchange of skills and there's exchange of talent. In the community where people are coming in to teach our young people, whether it's sewing or how to do coding or something. The skills. There's so much skills that people have in the community, and to actually have that exchange between us and the young people. So I really want to be a platform for that.
Okay, so if anybody wanted to get involved with you, be a volunteer, how would they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with the mosque. All our email and contact details are on there. So they are more than welcome to get in touch with us. We're always looking for great volunteers and ideas. So, yeah.
And I mean, is there any specific skills that you haven't got that you would like to get? Have you sort of done an audit and said, look, I'd love to get someone to do this and someone to do that? Have you thought that through as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a long list of things that I would love to have people that have got talent, but I don't want to, I don't want to say that and then show that I'm undermining another skill or a talent. But any skill, even it doesn't need to be a skill, it doesn't need to be a talent. But if you have the passion to make a change and stuff, then that's what we want to hear from.
Okay, so you've got your youth club, you've got all these young people. Do you get this feeling of satisfaction, a sense of satisfaction that you're really making a difference and you're doing a job that's helping these young people cope with life, cope with a diverse society, and get the skills that might be useful in the future for their job?
Yeah, I think every session we have, there's always hectic. You'll run off your feet because we have so many young people. But by the end of it, every time a session ends, whether or not if it's a youth club or a youth night or one of our football sessions, you just feel really you feel like you've made a difference to these young people. And the fact they come week after week, and these young kids, they don't care what the weather is. They will come to the club every week just to be part of their group of friends. And if you see them together, they fit so nicely. And as I said, there's so many different people from different diverse backgrounds. It's so nice to see a rainbow of people there. So it always feels empowering. And, speaking about our youth night, as I said, the previous youth night, the girls, it usually finishes at 9:30, but they were staying until 10 o'clock because discussion was, one discussion after another. And it felt really good that the girls were really expressing their feelings and getting really so much out of it that you feel like, wow, Green Stars gave the girls this opportunity to talk about this and they don't want to leave. That's another problem we do have is we can't get rid of our young people. We're like, go home now. Yeah.
And of course, you wouldn't want to get rid of your young people anyhow.
No. We love them.
Well, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I mean, we've come to the end of our half hour now, and I think it's been
thank
really
you so much for having us.
Well, thank you for doing it. And, I hope it goes from success to success. I hope you get your funding. And it really is a great job you're doing with a lot of young people in what is a very open and wonderful environment. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you. So, just a quick thing. Sorry, I
go ahead.
To mention this, that we were recently awarded for recognition from the London Faith and Community Awards, and that's the first time we've got something like that. So it was a really good reflection on our volunteers and our members. So I just want to put that in. Yeah.
Okay, well that's a good plug. That's really good to say. So thank you. And thank you again. And, this will be turned into a YouTube video as well. And we'll have this up in 2 or 3 days. So thank you for doing it.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And we'll end this interview now. So thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.